Guys, I'm back. Guys, I'm back. It's been a while. It has been a while, and let me tell you why. I don't have a reason why. I've always been a passionate person. I've always loved movies. At the age of 8, I could recite word for word the entire Percy Jackson Sea of Monsters movie. Now, as a kid, I thought this movie was incredible. Looking back, I can very well see why I didn't get that third movie and why nobody likes it. I mean, yes, it's a fun little entertaining movie, but it's barely Percy Jackson. So I thought that since I missed so much as a kid, being in my own world, thinking that everything was amazing, I would look back on my favorite movies and see if they were actually good movies or if I was just 8 years old. I will be rating these movies on, actually, I don't really know. Let's go with a scale. On a scale of, I was literally just born on this earth and this was like the first movie I watched and it isn't good at all, but it was the first movie I watched, so I thought it was amazing. And to this movie is truly a masterpiece. So let's go. The first movie is a classic Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Well, I think it's actually The Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl. I'm not sure. It's about a 10-year-old boy named Max. He gets bullied at school, surprise, surprise. And he's got this notebook. Now, in this notebook, he's created this whole entire world based on his dreams. There's like Shark Boy, there's Lava Girl. He's created all of these elaborate backstories for them. This entire like planet, all that fun stuff. One day, this like tornado, I guess you could say, this tornado / storm / what the hell is going on, just like rolls around at school. And Shark Boy and Lava Girl just pop out of that tornado, that storm, and say, Max, we need your help. Our world, it's dying. You need to come with us right now so our world will survive. So obviously he goes. The planet's name is Planet Drool, by the way. I think that that's amazing. So why they need Max to come and help them is because all of like the creative and fun stuff about their planet is dying and being replaced with Max's real world issues. Shark Boy and Lava Girl, they both got their stuff going on. Shark Boy is trying to find his dad, who he lost in the middle of the ocean because, that's when the sharks found him and raised him, and he grew like fins, he grew like sharp teeth, and that stuff. And Lava Girl's just going through a bit of amnesia. She doesn't know who she is. She doesn't know if she's evil, if she's good. Like, she doesn't know what's going on. We also don't know what goes on with her because she doesn't know. So we have no idea as well. So many things are happening that are just so much fun. But it's also a very good plot. It's not very funny. Like it's entertaining, but I wasn't laughing. Yeah. That's probably the main thing that I have to say about this movie is that it was extremely entertaining, but like not funny at all. But overall, on the sort of scale that I've got going on, I would say that it's about probably a 6. Like, you really need those 4 points of funniness and just, I don't know, something for, also CGI. Girl, who is she? We don't know her around these parts. Because, oh my god, I felt like it was a way better when I was a kid. The second movie is Looney Tunes Back in Action. This movie was ahead of its time. This was the first movie that came out that did 2D animation with real life. Wait, let me fact check. I was completely wrong and that was a lie. So Looney Tunes Back in Action is mainly about Daffy Duck, but it's also about this guy named DJ. We get the whole, like these 2D animations are actually real world actors and they've just been acting this whole time in the real world. So Daffy Duck has recently been fired from the Warner Brothers studio and he goes on an absolute rampage. Bro is so angry. And honestly, I would be too. Like, I am the Daffy Duck. What do you mean you're firing me? I am the star. Why am I being fired? So, Daffy Duck goes on this rampage about being fired, which causes DJ, a security guard, who was also a Nepo baby to Damian Drake, a very famous actor that's known for all these spy movies, to get fired. So DJ and Daffy Duck are now fired from Warner Brothers Studios. But, Daffy Duck sort of crashes DJ's house. Daffy Duck finds out that DJ's father's Damian Drake, Daffy Duck is just like, ooh, what if your father's actually a spy? And he's just playing these spy roles to, he's very sort of on that conspiracy sort of grind, And he's right, because Damian Drake is a real life spy. DJ's dad is actually a spy and is currently kidnapped by an evil villain named the Chairman, and he tells DJ and inherently Daffy Duck, because Daffy Duck is there. Why is he there? I don't know. That they need to find the blue monkey. Okay. But, obviously the evil villain, the Chairman, wants the blue monkey too. So it's sort of like a race, sort of got that, not really heist. No, it's probably just a race, not even a heist. Actually, it might be a heist. Is it a heist? I love heist movies. I love heist movies. Things about this movie. DJ wants to be a stuntman, and, DJ being played by Brendan Fraser says in the movie, oh, all those mummy films? Yeah, I was in them more than Brendan Fraser. So the movie breaks the fourth wall all the time with those sort of little jokes, and they're actually very funny. I very much enjoy them. The first time we meet this Chairman, he says to this sort of board of directors, we can't have 9-year-olds working in this sweatshop. Not when 3-year-olds work for so much less. What? Oh, it's also a double mission, because I did forget to mention that Bugs Bunny is trying to get Daffy Duck back. Also, Kate, who is the vice president of comedy in Warner Brothers, who fired Daffy Duck, gets fired. Because she fired Daffy Duck, and, the studio kind of realizes we can't really have a movie without Daffy Duck. And she also needs to go get Daffy Duck back to save her job. So her and Bugs Bunny are sort of a team, okay? And DJ and Daffy are sort of a team as well, okay? At the end of the movie, all is good. DJ gets his dad back. He ends up with Kate. Daffy is back at the studio. This movie was so funny. This movie was so funny, and it was so entertaining. 8 out of 10. Race to Witch Mountain. Now, okay, when I asked my sisters about this, they didn't remember it. But I remember it. You just had to be there. So, Race to Witch Mountain, The Rock is in it. Why is The Rock in pretty much every single kids 2000s movie? He was getting his check. So it's about this taxi driver named Jack, who's played by The Rock, and he has to help these kids, who are actually aliens, save the planet and their world from a super crazy, out of this world, all around galaxy killer named Siphon? I think that's what it says. From Siphon. I don't have much to say about this movie, which is surprising because that doesn't happen a lot. I have a lot of opinions about pretty much every movie that I see, and I don't really have any about this movie. It was a mediocre movie, I would say. Not funny, not that entertaining. Probably a 4 or 5 out of 10. The last movie that we will be discussing is Judy Moody and the Not Bummer Summer. I have asked many people about this movie doing my research on it. Many people, including my parents and my 2 sisters and my baby brother, who I made watch this movie, coming to the realization that he had never seen it. So, this movie is based on books. You may know about the books. I think there are a lot of them, actually. I didn't know. Guys, I didn't know that this was based on books. And doing my rewatch of this movie recently, I came to that realization, and I asked my friend and advisor, Haley. Haley, I love you. You're the best of this world. You're the best of this world, and you are now coming to the realization that I have appointed you my advisor. Advisor for what? I don't really know. I don't really know just yet. So she knows the books, but she didn't know that there was a movie on it. And this movie was great. This movie is still, I think, is one of my favorite movies. First of all, for the nostalgia, but also just because it's really fun. And I like the way that it like incorporates like drawings and like little things from the book on the screen. I think that that's very like fun and smart to do. So it's about a girl. I actually have a lot to say about this movie, more than the others. So I think that that's why I left it to last. But I also left it to last for best at last. It's about a girl called Judy, and she is hell bent on having the best summer ever with her two best friends, Rocky and Amy. So she creates this list of everything she wants her and her friends to do, but she comes to find out that Rocky is going to circus camp and Amy is trying to find a lost tribe in Borneo with her mum. So that means she has to do all these things with her brother named Stink and her second best friend, Frank. And on top of all that, her parents are going to California without her and Stink. So they'll be left alone with some old cranky aunt named April. She can't catch a break. Turns out that this Aunt April, that she doesn't know that she thought was an old cranky lady, is really just an art baddie. She is Aunt April Art Baddie, okay? AAAB. Okay, so turns out that the aunt that she didn't know, and apparently I also didn't know, is actually Aunt Opal, is a major art baddie and has like this massive suitcase filled with like a bunch of like art supplies, and it is such goals. I looked up to Aunt Opal. I looked up to Aunt Opal so much. It's just so good. Like the outfits are so little kid. Like that. That is a little kid. That isn't a little kid nowadays with jeans and a crop top. No. There's a scene when they're at the fair trying to check off one of these things from their bucket list, and Frank is eating this like I don't even know how to explain the color. It's so fluorescently like aqua. It's bubblegum ice cream, and that used to be my favorite. That used to be my favorite. Oh my gosh, when I tell you the way that used to be my favorite, I got that every single time we got ice cream. I would also like to mention that Frank, this second best friend, is second best friend for a reason. He is one of the most annoying characters I have ever watched in a movie. And that is saying something. I have watched a lot of things. So, like, as they're at this fair, Frank is, like, shoveling his gut-sake mouth with, like, food. He's shoveling it with, like, bubblegum ice cream, as I said before, fairy floss, corn dogs, hot dogs, literally every single food that you can get at a fair or an expo, he has eaten. And this is with the fact that he knows they are meant to go on this roller coaster and have the best time ever at this fair. And yes, while I say I would be in Frank's shoes if I would be at the fair, I would be getting all the food, but I would not so recklessly as go on the roller coaster with my supposed best friend. As him and Judy are on this that part of the roller coaster, at this part he turns to her and throws up all over her face, her shirt, her shoes, her shorts, all over her. Accidents happen. This was no accident. This was a malicious act. This was sadistic. Almost, because what do you mean? You ate all this food, you were being a bloody gutsake, eating all of this food, every single piece of food that you could scavenge in your hand, knowing that you were meant to be going on this roller coaster to check the box on your bucket list, and you throw up all over Judy. No. That is, I can't even explain what I would do in that situation, because I don't like vomit. I can't handle throw up. I can't handle me throwing up, let alone someone else throwing up. So the idea of somebody throwing up on me on purpose, like, that's when it gets serious. Anyway, 10 out of 10 movie, was so entertaining, was so funny. It was the best movie out of all of the movies that I have mentioned today. You know, at the end of this video, which is now is the end of this video. I do apologize that the video is ending and you will not be able to see my lovely face for another week. I will say that I've always had great taste in movies. Like, yes, I've always loved fun, entertaining movies. And I always will. I will always be a sucker for an if I am entertained, if this is me in the movie, 10 out of 10 movie. 5 stars. That's all I have to say for today, which is surprising, but I am done. So, bye.